Hey, welcome everybody. This is your host, Living Dead Cat, for another art stream. And today I will give fair warning if anybody saw the Instagram post. There is a bit of a trigger warning tonight. Normally I will chat with the chat, and sometimes I'll talk about mental health and things like that. But today is going to be a little bit of a heavy talk about some mental health issues that can spring for other people. Today, I had my PTSD triggered, so I would like to talk more about PTSD and the link to it from abuse as opposed to where people normally hear PTSD stemming from, soldiers and people who've had to go to war. So just giving some warning. Tonight's talk is going to be a little bit heavy, so if you prefer, you can mute and just enjoy the art. Just a moment here. Also, with last week's stream, I decided that I was going to start giving shout outs to my Instagram art people that are following me, that I'm following. And tonight we've got Continuous Drawing Project. They just followed me, I think today. So congratulations, you get a free boost. And let's see here, we've also got You or Them. They do some pretty dark art, which is awesome if you love horror like I do. And we also have Big John's. Oops, I am so sorry. I totally misspelled that. That is supposed to be 3D prints, not 3S prints. Yay, typos. There we go. Yay, fit. Anyhow, so Big John's 3D prints, they have some amazing stuff. I think today one of their posts was a 3D print bust of Uncle Fester from the Addams Family movie. And I tell you what, it was beautimous. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, Gray. Hey, Quirky. How's it going? And let's see, we've also got Sabir Arts, Vaish, I'm probably butchering that, Art Page, Sci Art YouTube. They do the sped up videos on YouTube. Amazing stuff. Really quality art. Travel Photography 002, and then Amber Andri, or Andri, not sure, but they also, every one of these people are artists in some form, whether it's photography or visual arts in terms of, sketches and things. So, without further ado, last week I focused on this guy right here, and he turned out wunderbar. Absolutely love it. And after staring at him for about 30 minutes while getting prepped for the stream, I've decided on two things. The beak and feet are going to be really, really dark, like probably close to black, but I'm going to give it a green hue as well. And then I'm going to kind of follow suit with the flames on this one and give him a full aura of like the bright yellowish green flames like this. So totally freehand on those flames. I don't even have a pencil sketch of it, so wish me luck. Alrighty, let me get started on that first, and then we'll dive right into an uncomfortable discussion. Unfortunately, yeah, it was kind of it was a good day at work, not too bad. Kept really busy, and then right at the end of the day came that trigger. So, another topic is going to be about phobias. And I'm not talking like, oh God, that's creepy. No, I mean genuine fears that make people act irrationally. It's called an irrational fear for a reason. And it can cause people to have some fairly volatile reactions. It can cause people to just completely shut down mentally. Yeah, fears are real, and they should not be, made fun of, laughed at, no matter what the fear is of. One of my ex-step-parents had an irrational fear of cotton in the raw, like cotton balls, cotton swabs, Q-tips. And the worst was she had really bad arthritis. And so opening pill bottles was not only a challenge in that her hands were pretty rough, but the cotton ball that was inside would freak her out. And she would just throw the whole thing across the room, pills would be everywhere. But you know what? That was her fear. That's her irrational fear. And there's no necessary reason for how these fears develop. It can just be one of those random quirks of the mind. It could be a texture thing. It could be visual. It could be just about anything. There was somebody who couldn't stand a certain smell, and it made them instantly nauseated. And it got to the point where they began to fear going places that would have these smells. That is a developed fear. But for my ex-stepmom, she doesn't know where it came from. She didn't have any negative things happen when she was a child that would have stemmed from, that would cause that to happen, whatever. So, yeah. And my boss has a highly irrational fear of roaches. She is totally cool with like spiders, crickets, rats, any bug, except for roaches. Oops. Oh no, I forgot my glove. Glove up or shut up. Anyway, so yeah, we had 2 in the office today. Those great big American water bug looking dudes. Those freaky bastages. And because I know about her extreme fear, I give her warning when I see one. And then I try to, go get rid of it. And, well, it disappeared behind the desk. But little did I know is another one was lurking in her office, shared by another one of the managers. And I guess it surprised him where it was, and he laughed and just smushed it, threw it in the trash, but saw her fear as a joke. Hey princess, how's it going? Glad you could make it. Now the worst thing you can do is to try and invalidate somebody's fear. It does not help whatsoever in the healing process. Some people go to therapy for years to try and get over these fears that they have. Some people struggle with it their entire lives. There are some who never get over it and end up in a very, very bad place later on in life because of these fears. And again, trying to make a joke out of it or invalidate somebody's fears and phobias. Like, not just a fear, it is a true phobia. Well, I don't want to say it's heartless, because most of the time it's just ignorance. People don't understand. And that's become a bit of a problem. It gets brushed off as no big deal just because it's not completely understood. And a lot of people at work have often laughed, or I want to say gently made fun of the situation, while she ends up bursting into tears and ready to walk out and not come back to work. It is a genuine fear. It is a phobia. But the thing that really hit was, like I said, oops. Oh, no, I got it. I thought I just broke my pencil. He smushed the first one and tossed it in the trash can. However, it wasn't dead. And when she was informed that he killed one and put it in the trash can, she started to freak out. It's not a surprise, because it's akin to, let's see, think of the most fearful experience of your life. If you've had a near-death experience, or like I've been held up at gunpoint a couple of times. Well, not a couple of times. I've been held up at gunpoint once. I've been carjacked. So that kind of thing is terrifying. But you still have some form of control over yourself. This, way beyond. When she saw it move in the trash can, she absolutely shrieked. And that moment that she did that was what triggered my PTSD. And I had no idea it was going to do that. It sounded, it echoed in my mind. And I couldn't really focus on work anymore, because all I could hear was the sound of my mother screaming when she was dealing with abuse. And I emotionally shut down at work. I just kind of sat at my desk and stared at the screen. Luckily, it was the end of the day. And just could not function for the rest of the day. I have dealt with quite a bit of abuse over the years and have developed PTSD because of it. I was never in the military of any branch. I never saw war, but I have been, well, I don't want to say victim anymore, because I have survived. I am a survivor of abuse. Physical, mental, you name it. Sexual abuse. And there's even a lot of different abuses that are overlooked. Monetary abuse. Isolationary. I mean, it's only recently that emotional abuse is starting to be taken seriously. And it's not easy to deal with. Any of it, obviously. So, not everybody has the same reactions with PTSD as well. And mine manifests in several different ways. It'll come up with, I'll mental or emotionally shut down. I will physically just freeze and not be able to respond or act. And that happened to me when this lady just randomly started yelling in my face, like inches from my face. Oh no, I broke my. I broke it. So, and I just sat there staring at her. I couldn't react. I couldn't speak. That is my defense when met with extreme confrontation. That is part of my PTSD issue. Is I don't know how to react when I get into that shutdown phase. Another version of how it triggers is panic. Not the same as a panic attack with anxiety, but over the years, my various stepdads have been abusive, verbally, physically, you name it. And every time they would come home, I would hear like the garage door or, the front door. And just my heart would start to race. I would get this feeling of just intense fear and panic. And now, every time I hear somebody climb up the stairs to my apartment, or if somebody slams a door a little bit too loudly, there's kids everywhere, and nope, they don't know how to shut doors quietly. Come on, they're kids. However, hearing that slamming makes my heart race, and I can't really move. I just sit there staring at the door in panic that one of my abusers is going to walk through the door or burst through the door. It's akin to a phobia, almost. Not quite, though. But it may have similar effects, where it's an irrational behavior. And, it's rough. My PTSD stemmed from abuse. Anybody else who has ever suffered through abuse, survived, it takes a lot of power, a lot of courage to survive something like that. It's not easy, especially those who are in abusive relationships, of which I've been in a few. It's definitely a struggle to find your way out, especially when, there's a lot of loopholes, a lot of red tape that you have to jump through. When I left one of my abusive relationships, I found myself in a women's shelter, signing the paperwork, when I came across a question on the document I didn't quite understand. And when I asked about it, they said that the shelter was only available to women in abusive relationships who want to work it out and get back together with who they're with. And I told them that I didn't plan to go back to him, and I was turned away at the last second. That was devastating because I had already packed up everything of mine, moved out, everything was in the car, and my dad's truck, and then they turned us away on a technicality. That is one of those loopholes that you might face. So you need to definitely do research if you're trying to get out. Find somebody who you can talk to and trust, who's not going to try to tell you to just work it out. Because if it's that bad where you need to leave, you probably shouldn't try to work it out. And I apologize, I have been neglecting the chat. I will read it now. Quirky, you're looking for phobias within you and try to purge fear, but no, you must have something. Fear loss, happy for time spent. Somebody trying to dictate your happiness. That's interesting. Is it a lack of control or the fact that somebody's trying to control you in some way? And Peach, yeah, arachnophobia is a very common one. Several of my friends have that. I, for one, absolutely love spiders. They are quite useful. And I tend to attract them wherever I go. So, fair warning. You come hang out with me, you might find a little crawler on me somewhere. Because, yes, they will just... Yeah, I'll find a random spider crawling on me once in a while. Quirky, you meant the bad law. Oh, yes. Yes. Don't get me started on that abortion law. I can rant about that for days. So I won't get into any of the political things that are going on right now. I have tried to avoid that as much as possible. And Quirky, I guess you've been blessed or sheltered. Yes. Yeah, bullies. Yeah, I've had my share. Bullies are everywhere, even in the adult world, which really saddens me. It's more of a pity thing. I mean, yes, it sucks when you have an adult sitting there and just talking crap to you about the most trivial thing or bullying you in some form or fashion. It's like, didn't we already leave the schoolyard? Why does this still continue? Why are you so unhappy that you have to bring down others? It boggles the mind. How there's some adults that'll just still throw petty insults at people and think that they're better than others. And Peach, I'm glad you're working on it. And it is a process. Start with jumping spiders. They're the cute ones, and they are very docile. I would stay away from black widows. So, yeah. Funny story, actually. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous stream or not, but there was a time where my mom's apartment, well, I was living there too, so it was our apartment at the time. I was still in middle school or high school, so one of the two, infested completely with black widows. I never killed one, but holy crap, I captured them like crazy. And my mom kept calling for, the exterminator and everything. Oh, well, they'll be out next week. Oh, wait, no, it's delayed. It'll be about a month. And so, you know what I did? Oh, my mom was ticked off. Gotta try to keep this PG. She was absolutely furious. And so I took that energy and I made some use. I took a jar and I started catching every black widow I could find. I mean, they were everywhere out in the open. It wasn't even like they were hiding. They were not being sneaky. They were just ready to, make their interesting little webs everywhere they could. And so I had about 8 or 9, I think, in the jar. Somewhere, give or take 2 or 3. And I had no lid on it. They were all alive inside this jar. This big mason jar. And so I took it to the front office and put the jar upside down where the open end was on the desk, and I slammed it on their desk. And those spiders were now furious and wriggling around like crazy in this jar. And I told her our apartment number, and I said, "Exterminator tomorrow," and walked out. Seems like they didn't take us seriously. But they did then, because it wasn't even the next day. We got an exterminator that day. It was so funny. My mom wasn't happy with what I did. "You took too much of a risk." Like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, you know what? This is the thanks I get. Nah. But yeah, I mean, I've had a black widow crawl down my arm once. I was living in Oklahoma, and I had this little one-room shack that my brother helped build. And I was playing some MMO. I think it was like Ultima Online or something. And all of a sudden, I feel this tickling on my arm, and I go to scratch it, and I always look where I'm about to scratch to make sure it's not, something that's going to bleed. Because, I'm cautious like that. And it was a black widow just taking a stroll right down my arm from the shoulder. And I was like, okay. I very casually typed to my friends, is like, if I don't come back, I have a black widow crawling down my arm. They all called BS and whatnot. And this was, back when I had a Nokia, so there wasn't much in the way of taking any decent pictures. And don't even get me started on the quality of webcams back then. I took a piece of printer paper and I gently coaxed it onto that piece of paper. And I mean gently. I was calm, but I was also terrified at the same time. So I don't know how that happened. Apparently in emergency situations, I stay very calm, but in the, next to nothing situations, I panic. Yay, anxiety. But I coaxed it on this piece of paper and then very gingerly took it outside and just kind of tossed it into the bush. It's like, you live out here now. But yeah, I mean, there have been so many occasions where I'm just minding my own business and all of a sudden, oh, hey, there's another spider crawling up. Okay. Y'all need to, start paying rent if y'all are going to keep doing this. My body is not just a luxury to crawl upon, But, yeah. I totally respect everybody's fears and phobias. None of them are ridiculous because it's all a mental thing. It's all part of mental health. I think that phobias are an offshoot of mental health. And it shouldn't be just overlooked at all. Ever. So there. I will get off of my soapbox and we can talk about the picture now. So how's everybody doing? I need the actual pen. Here it is. Is anybody else in the chat? Would you like to reveal any phobias or fears or any issues that you've had this week or whatnot? My streams are always a safe space, and same with the Discord channel that Gray and I share. Gray, if you want to drop a link to the Discord, we are welcome of anybody and everybody. And Gray and I have often gone to each other. Oh no, it won't let you post a link, will it? Darn it. I think I have the settings. But where you can't. Let me see if I can. Well, it shows us 3 asterisks. Well, it's not filtering. Maybe I can embed. You know what? I will put the... I will need to put the link somewhere somehow. That's going to be something I need to look into next week. Thank you, Gray, for helping out. We tried. And that's all we can really strive to do. Sometimes. All right. I am... Speaking of Gray, yes, there is a name change coming soon to the Discord. I am testing out my grays because while I have been calling this a giant ball of mashed potatoes this whole time, it's actually a smoke ball. And I'm going to be very ambitious with this thing. I want to have fire coming out of it. I want to have, kind of a lightning-ish thing going on in the background. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. And I think I'm going to go ahead and erase these pencil flames because if y'all caught that other episode, it didn't go over so well when I colored over it. Like right there. Okay, let me see here. No issues? You made a decision to train as a chef during the darkest point of your life? Oh, man. Oh, wow. I am so sorry. Yeah, suicide, even just considering and contemplating, is quite a heavy toll on the mind. And thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so glad that you made that decision to train as a chef because, yeah, this world would be a darker place without you, man. Yeah. Revisiting some of those darker days, it really throws you for a loop sometime to really sit back and think about where your life used to be, where it's going now, and even the smallest decisions can make a huge impact on the direction your life ends up going. And again, I'm glad you stuck around, man. I don't think anybody could give us any more epic dad jokes, at least of your caliber. I mean, Gray's tried, but he has to go to a website. Totally called you out there, buddy. And we wouldn't be friends if we didn't gently bully each other once in a while. Oh, you missed it? Oh, no, never mind. You didn't miss a thing. And again, I'm just doing some little freehand whatever before I really dig into the smoke. have no idea what I'm doing, but that's okay.
I'm experimenting.
Oh wait, what time is it? All right, 20 minutes left. Well, I'm glad this entire stream wasn't just hard to digest. Learned a lot about some of y'all, and I want to thank you so much for sharing. I know it's not always easy to do so. And I mean, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. There's some people that sharing only seems to make things worse. And you know what? If you are one of those people who can't share just yet, for whatever, demons are keeping things at bay, then I hope you find some solace in knowing that you're not alone. Let's change up the color here. Maybe you can see it a little more what I'm doing, so it doesn't look like it's just, white. Always ready to talk, Quirky, huh? No comment. No, I'm kidding. No, that's great. It's wonderful. It's a good quality to have.
You know what they say, sharing is caring.
All right, I'll stop. Hey, it's Never. How's it going, man? Thank you so much. Man, you missed some heavy conversation, unless you were listening alongside Peach, which I hope you were, because it was some insightful stuff. Not all of it easy, but life's not always going to be easy. I'm glad you got to hear some of it. And for those of you just joining in, this is Living Dead Cat coming to you live from my desk. And I am a dork. But that's okay. I'm playing with smoke and fire. I'm safe. Lighten the mood up a little bit here.
Yeah, darn.
Hey, that doesn't look half bad. Playing around with the shading and everything is really making it pop. I like it. I dig it, yo. You know, it took me a long time to figure it out, but shading is so much easier than I thought it ever would be. You just keep adding layer upon layer upon layer, and then you can stop whenever you want. And it just starts looking really cool. Huh. That's looking pretty neat. Octopus! Dude, the shading is so much easier than people realize. It's just very, very light strokes over and over and over and over again. You kind of go with the contour, well, not the contour, but the shape of what you're doing here. Just like line, 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 line. And just super light strokes, and you just keep adding to it, and that's all it is. Figure out where it might look cool and then go from there. That's all I'm doing. Anybody can do this, actually. Hey, Tolar! Welcome aboard. You're late. No, I'm kidding. You missed the heavy chat, so if you're one of those people that kind of gets triggered about it, then good for you. You missed it. But we did have some pretty heavy discussions. Phobias came into play. UPT. Oh, sorry, IPT. What's that? Irish people tongue. All right. Whatever boats your float, man. That's looking pretty nifty. And as I go, I know I'm going to end up darkening these up quite a bit, but right now I'm just kind of testing the waters with how this is going to work, because I've got 4 different shades to work with. And these are going to be my palette throughout the entirety of the smoke cloud. So I do want some areas to have this like super light gray, but I know the majority is going to end up being these colors. So again, just playing around, teasing the shadows a little. They like it. It's okay. And then as I go, I'll be able to go with the lighter ones around the little flames peeking through, maybe some jagged, almost electric bolts, which I have no idea how I'm going to pull off, because I know that the most intense part is going to be white with an aura of the lightest colors that I got. So I think I'm going to revisit that next week. But I will go ahead and darken up this area a bit more in the back. There we go. That's not too bad. Uh-oh. It's getting to be that time because Jasper is starting to get restless. He has been such a good boy and resting on my back this whole time. Oh, thank you, Never. I appreciate the compliments. Of course, you are kind of biased. You're my friend. You have to like it. like how this looks. Almost a charcoal-esque coming through. And again, the light doesn't do justice to the color. This is very dark on the page. And it's coming through just like, oh, barely gray. It's okay, it's just a hint. But it still looks pretty cool. Let's see. Brighten this up. Zoom. Yeah, see? It's darker than it looks. It still looks very bright on the page. But there you go. And I think I'm going to do something else with these flames up here. I may erase as much as I possibly can next time and thin them out a little bit because that looks too much like fur. I like how the flames were over here. Those look more fiery on the edges. These, I just went with my standard fire look, and it's not working the way I want it to. But that's okay. Super Saiyan. No! I do not have a DBZ Phoenix. Ow. Bye, Jasper. He didn't appreciate that either. Apps! Don't be clawing the carpet. The joys of living with a cat. So, again, last spiel I'm going to give those of you who are familiar with my Instagram. I am starting to boost some of my followers and give shout outs to them during my streams now. We have Continuous Drawing Project, You Were Them, Big John's 3D Prints, Sabir Arts, it's either Vaish or Vaish art page. I am butchering these, I know. Sci Art YouTube, Travel Photography 002, and Amber Andri and something. You can read. You may not be able to pronounce, but it's readable, legible, whatever. And again, this has been your host, Living Dead Cat, with Living Dead Cat Draws, the Phoenix Triumvirate. And making our way through the coloring. I do like how the feet and beak turned out. On the page, it's a lot darker. Curse this light. No, it's a good light. Hit the light, or else it'll go out on you. I still don't know why half of this is showing up gray instead of all these bright pinks and purples. But anyhow, I don't know how to do color correction on this thing yet. So, as always, take care of yourselves. Take care of your friends. Check in on everybody, even if they seem perfectly fine. Take a day for yourself. Do some self-care. Once a week. At least try to. And don't let, your desk give you an avalanche. I'm trying to keep it clean. Anyhow, I should probably stop picking up when I'm doing my stream. So yeah, just keep an eye on yourselves, your friends, your family. Make sure that when you reach out to somebody, it's somebody you can trust. Somebody you can go to for anything and everything. Somebody who's not going to judge. Somebody who understands, maybe not exactly what you're going through, but can empathize with you instead of sympathize. Because, tell you what, last thing us mental health survivors and such need is pity. And telling us, it's all in your head. Well, no kidding. We can't get it out. That's the problem. But, yeah. This is the Phoenix Triumvirate. I will see you next week. Same cat time, same cat channel. Alright. Enjoy art. Enjoy life. Stop clawing on my carpet. Alright, you guys. Y'all have a wonderful week. Sketch you later.